Lesson 6, Detoxification and Transformation. Feed him with apricots and dewberries, with purple grapes, green figs, and mulberries. Shakespeare. Raw plant foods, medicinal herbs, laughter, bliss, joy, and unconditional love all exist in the same frequency range. Tuning into this frequency raises the overall vibration of your energy field, causing anything that is vibrating in a lower frequency range, such as fear, pain, doubt, cancer, ugliness, depression, toxins, and so on, to eventually percolate out and be ejected from the body. This process is known as detoxification. Detoxification transforms us yet also challenges us. As you embark upon and continue with this process, remember that you do not need to focus on perfection, just progress. Old habits die hard, but they do die. Some shifts will happen immediately, while others will take time. The path may be relatively easy, or it may be challenging. Inner cleansing, detoxification, and body awareness are all byproducts of embarking on a raw food program. The results provide the instructions and inspire one to proceed further and further. The transformative process that begins by eating raw plant foods allows you to rebuild yourself at a deep level. It allows you to reshape yourself into a more perfect work of art. It endows you with a newfound ability to resculpt your character, physique, and future. It inspires you to fully invest your time into the process of recreating yourself as a masterpiece. We all know the mythical story of the flight of Icarus, remember? Icarus was caught in the labyrinth on the island of Crete. His father, Daedalus, a master engineer, created wings for his son so that he could fly back with him and escape. His father told him, "Fly the middle way. Do not fly too high, or the sun will melt the wax on your wings, and you'll fall from the sky. Do not fly too low, or the tides of the sea will catch you." The two donned the wings and flew off the island together. Icarus, however, became ecstatic in flight and flew too high. The wax on the wings melted, and he plummeted into the sea. This story is often called the flight of Icarus. Yet from now on you may remember it as the flight of Daedalus, because it was Daedalus who succeeded. Daedalus was brave. He took action. But he was also smart, unlike Icarus, who did not listen. The lesson here is to take a chance, to fly, and also to listen closely and educate yourself. Raw food is powerful information, and by adopting this program, you will fly. Make sure you listen and stay educated. To be able to handle the metabolic change that occurs when shifting to a raw food-based diet, you need to move at your own pace and begin where you are. Consistently accelerate that pace as you are able. Handle yourself like a wise manager does when bringing a promising prize fighter along. He makes sure that his fighter does not face anyone in his early bouts who could knock him out. Push yourself along at a pace that your confidence and ability can handle. Minor victories lead to major victories. Small commitments lead to large commitments. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, whether it is a train, a car, an emotion, a habit, or a belief. One step leads to another. Each triumph brings you one step closer to realizing the goal of eternal youth and beauty. All changes should be adopted with common sense. Too sudden of a shift can shock the body. Everything comes as it should, in its own time. The way to create lasting change is to step outside your comfort zone, but not into your shock zone. A word to the wise: habit does advise that a sudden shift may be too swift. A shift's gift may stir and uplift. Things of the past, best released slow instead of fast. When you continue to strive, slow changes arrive. Persistency is like a gauge, step by step, page by page. Consistency is nature's wage that unlocks any cage. If you want to realize greater health gains, invest your time and efforts in detoxification and personal development projects that incubate over a long period of time. The long-range projects pay off so much more because the universe rewards the virtues of discipline and perseverance. Symptoms of detoxification. If you're going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. Headaches, body aches, skin challenges, excess mucus, PMS, body odor, halitosis, bowel irregularities, feelings of discomfort, emotional fluctuations, lack of interest in sex, deep doubts, and soul searching are all symptoms of detoxification that may occur in cycles. These are symptoms of low energy phenomena being flushed out by higher energy foods and emotions. Have you ever stepped into a calm pond or lake in the early morning hours? Once you step in, the mud at the bottom is churned up. Detoxification is like this. Eating healthy, lighter foods churns up the old sludge, including past emotional residue and buried hurt. Emotional cleansing is part of the transformation process. If you are experiencing strong detoxification symptoms, especially through the skin, visit a colon hydrotherapist. Colonics can help channel and remove the toxicity and emotions through the bowels instead of the skin. How to slow down or speed up detoxification symptoms. Catabolic practices tend to speed up or accelerate detoxification symptoms. This means that a catabolic practice will move toxins through and out of the body faster. Catabolic means to break down. Catabolic practices include the following: fasting, eating sweet fruit, drinking green juices, drinking only water, aerobic exercise, herbal cleansing, hot springs, bathing, sweat lodge, sauna, colon hydrotherapy, massage, orgasm, skin brushing gua sha, Chinese skin scraping, taking enzymes and probiotic supplements, taking MSM, methylsulfonylmethane, as a supplement. Anabolic practices tend to slow down detoxification. This means that an anabolic practice will suppress the release of toxins from the body. Anabolic means to build up. Anabolic practices include the following: eating fatty foods, avocados, nuts, olives, seeds, coconuts, durian, eating fibrous green leafy vegetable salads, using sea salt, anaerobic exercise such as heavy weightlifting, eating cooked starches like bread, pasta, rice, baked potato, etc. Eating any kind of dairy product, eating any type of meat, including fish. Neither catabolic nor anabolic activity is more important than the other. They are both valuable and useful at the correct time. A lesson in detachment: rid your home and workspace of anything that you have not used or touched in the last year. Have you ever walked into someone's home and seen stuff everywhere? Stuff on the counters, stuff on the walls, stuff in the closet, stuff on the floor. Heaven help you if you should open the refrigerator. Stuff. Guess what is inside the person who lives amongst all this? Lots of stuff. What we see around us is only a reflection of what is inside us. If we see clutter around us, the tendency is for clutter to be present within us. There is a special healing force in detachment, in letting go. In my journeys, I have discovered that success is not about what you get. It is about what you let go of. Letting go of objects around us allows us to let go of stuff within us. It helps with the detoxification process. Detoxification is personal. Self-healing through alternative healthcare and alternative dermatology is a very personal and awakening study. Alternative healthcare sciences tend to view people as whole individuals in an environment with a history rather than as a group of labeled symptoms and diagnoses. Use your intuition instincts to aid your choice of naturopaths, physicians, or healers. If you feel that more esoteric healing regimes are appropriate, such as prayer, psychics, faith, or another alternative method, then by all means act upon that feeling. This is where you may have your greatest breakthroughs. Allow your feelings to aid you in the choice of doctors and healing techniques. Naturopathic healing techniques are powerful. Even faith and psychic healing may have its role in your life. There is an extraordinary intelligence among us. The greatest benefit of natural and spiritual healing regimes is the adventuresome, optimistic frame of mind that arises from their use. Weight loss. Enlightenment is just that, making yourself lighter. Permanent weight loss comes through an inner transformation. This usually arises from an epiphany, a moment of clarity, a clear decision. When the decision has been made and a new path in life is chosen, the weight is already lost. The two biggest elements to limit and eliminate in the diet in order to lose weight are starchy carbohydrates such as baked potatoes, rice, beer, bread, pasta, corn chips, potato chips, etc., and cooked fats such as high-fat meat and pasteurized dairy foods. Overeating habits and weight gain are related to eating demineralized foods. The richer a food is in minerals, the more difficult it becomes to overeat it. When food is eaten raw, it gives a stronger signal to stop eating. This is called the alliesthetic taste change. This taste change is stronger in more mineralized foods and is especially strong in wild foods. It is virtually impossible to overeat wild foods. Wild foods are always higher in minerals than domesticated foods. Domesticated plants, especially those that are commercially grown, tend to be high in sugar, starch, and low in minerals. These include grains, bread, pasta, rice cakes, beer, potatoes, baked potato chips, corn, corn chips, corn syrup products, carrots, and seedless fruits. The consumption of demineralized food often leads to addictions. I remember being addicted to corn chips while in college, which actually caused a subtle inflammation in my skin. Hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid gland, has been the target of much of the blame for excessive weight gain. This can be true, though it is not always the case. If indeed thyroid challenges are the cause of excessive weight, the best course of action is to feed the thyroid with coconut oil, as well as other coconut products, kelp, Brazil nuts, 3 to 4 each day, fruits rich in vitamin C, oranges, peppers, and foods high in B vitamins and enzymes, raw sauerkraut. How to cut cellulite fast. Drink only fresh grapefruit juice or simply eat only grapefruits for 3 days. Grapefruits contain the wonderful anti-inflammatory and skin-cleansing enzyme bromelain. Grapefruits are the mildest citrus fruit in acid content, yet they retain the strong antiseptic, mucus-dissolving properties found in all citrus fruits. They are also mild in sugar content, making them gentle on the pancreas as well as blood sugar levels. Another strategy is to eat frugally lightly and take 2 beauty enzymes TM with every meal and 2 between meals to build up the cleansing protease and lipase enzyme levels in the tissues, thereby helping to break down cellulite and excess fat. Avoid taking enzymes on an empty stomach if you have a history of ulcers. The miraculous thing about us is that we are dynamic beings. We rebuild ourselves constantly. General wisdom holds that 98% of the atoms in our bodies are replaced in 2 years. Studies have shown that 100% of our atomic structure is replaced within 7 years. Now comes the startling truth. You can change your bone structure. You can greatly alter your appearance. You can change the mold of your flesh to suit your ideals. We all become the image we hold of ourselves within our own mind. In spite of all the doubters and disbelievers, this is the truth I have come to know based on my own experiences with raw food and my own physical transformation. My promise to you is that excellent organic, highly mineralized raw food choices practiced consistently will transform you in 2 years by replacing your atomic structure with the correct building materials. In 7 years, you will be entirely transformed into a new person. All knowledge and learning amount to little when compared to the need to purify and rejuvenate the body at all levels, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, because a renewed body is capable of accessing the deepest wisdom. Everyone who chooses to purify receives rewards beyond their imagination, if they are willing to progress intelligently and pass the tests. It is through this process of self-purification that we become beings of pure essential beauty. At present, most of us are completely unaware of what true beauty and charisma can truly do. With enough charisma and purity, there is no limitation. Enough charisma creates opportunities at every turn. It generates unique and magical events each day. Starfruit Kirlian image.